Hey Aries, welcome to Get Life 333 Tarot. This is going to be a You're Not Together But You Don't Feel Finished spread. I just want to give a caveat that this is not your reading if you're dealing with a full-blown narcissist. Somebody who has issues with addiction, serial cheating, serial lying, treating you like shit, bringing no joy to your life. This is not for you. Right? That reading would be called You're Not Together, and thank God for that. That's what that would be called. So, yeah, and the reason I'm doing this reading is because I did the last 2 weeks of March already and the first 2 weeks of April, and just felt like with this Pluto retrograde coming upon us, where we're being made to look at our life and things that we need to get rid of, things we need to keep. I thought dealing with the relationships that are out there that are kind of cuspy, you know who you are, kind of in between things. Yeah, I thought it might be helpful, shine a little light on the situation and circumstances. So I'm going to pull cards. I'm going to read, what's progressed in the situation that has led to where you guys are right now. And then at the end, I'm going to pull a yes/no card where you guys are going to ask the question, am I, and fill in your partner's name, going to get back together? Or you can ask it another way, am I, and fill in your partner's name, going to stay broken up. However you want to ask it. But you just have to ask it the same way all 3 times. Okay, so this first row is the vice versa deck, for those of you who want to know. I did already pre-shuffle. I did meditate. I knocked my cards. I saged them. I did all that stuff. But I do like to just do a quick shuffle on camera. Okay, let's see what's going on. Oop. Aries, what's going on, man? What's going on? Okay. All right, so your crowning energy, that's a challenge. You have a couple of the Wisdom of the Oracle cards here. So yours is orphaned, and this just means that your challenge right now is going to be feeling that you're feeling very abandoned and very alone, and not being able to trust relationships at all at this point. Like to the point where you don't think it's even possible to have a relationship with trust at any point. Yeah. Yeah, there's Aries, there's a lot of pain in that card. Yeah, and then we have higher power. This is your partner's crowning energy. So this is actually what they're going to be, what they're struggling with. So they're struggling with the incessant need to be right about everything, and to be perceived a certain way. So functioning very much from the ego, which is not our higher power. That would be our lower power and the lower version of ourselves. So this indicates that this has been your partner's challenge, is that they've been functioning from a lower place, and your challenge here is how it made you feel, Aries. Yeah. All right, so let's get into it. So we have the Two of Cups energy is the first for you. So I'm getting that that in the beginning, when you guys first got together or got back together, I'm going to say that because I'm getting the energy could go either way. Either when you guys initially first met, or this could be some of you were together and you broke up and then you got back together, but it doesn't matter. You were feeling very positive, about the situation, yeah, and just, you were feeling so much love and so much promise, and you truly felt like you found your soulmate. You really felt that you were with someone who you could just share everything with, all of your emotions, everything. And that was the intention, right? That was your intention anyway for the relationship. And that's what they were leading you to believe too, is what they wanted, something real, something honest. But Aries, I have that even from this early space. They have the Hermit there, that Hermit energy. They had a lot going on under the surface that you weren't completely aware of, is what I'm getting. They had secrets that started to emerge, and things that they hadn't even been honest with themselves about before. That they just couldn't ignore anymore. They were in a place of being really honest with themselves and ended up feeling this push for deeper life experiences than where they've been. So they were feeling this while you were feeling really happy and excited about your connection. They were having these thoughts, but they weren't communicating them to you. So then we have the Three of Cups, and this tells me that you didn't know what was going on. You were in a space of saying, thank God for this relationship, and you honestly felt just so grateful, while they were in this Four of Cups energy, feeling like things just didn't feel right for them on some level, Aries. I'm so sorry. As that sounds, I don't like how that sounds, but I have to read what's here. Yeah, they just didn't feel right. And they felt bored and in a place where they felt like they were missing something, but didn't really know what, though. They were very, very lost in their direction, but was blaming you and the relationship somehow. Yeah, because that Hermit energy became very painful for them. Yeah. It became so painful that they needed to displace the reasoning for why their life was why they were at where they were in their life. They didn't want to take full responsibility and be completely accountable. So they were blaming you and the relationship as part of it. Not as the whole thing. I don't feel like the whole thing, but as part of it. And the thing is, like, at this point, I feel like you sensed something. You know, you only sensed it. That maybe they were somehow pulling away. But I'm getting that you didn't really want to acknowledge it. Because you were just really in love with them. Yeah. And then we have this Four of Wands, but yeah, man, you were feeling it. You were forcing yourself to be in this relationship, acting happy. Not that you were forcing yourself to be in the relationship, you were forcing yourself to act happy in the relationship, which was draining you. You know, you suspected something was off with them, and it really threw you off balance. And when you would speak to them about it, they would deny it. And it was kind of driving you a little crazy because you knew something was wrong. You knew it. Your intuition was screaming at you. It just really, really threw you into like some kind of like emotional frenzy where, I don't know, where inappropriate things were said and done. And, you know, Aries, were you trying to convince them in some way of being maybe more into the relationship than they were? Or were you accusing them of something, of maybe cheating on you or something, where they just didn't want to deal with it? And because then we have the Judgment here. I get that something went on that made your partner like stop in their tracks to atone for some wrongdoing. It's like your intuition was right. They were doing something wrong. They weren't admitting it to you. And then suddenly something happened where it came out. And they were really wanting forgiveness. They felt deserving of forgiveness. But whatever this was, you had such a hard time letting it go, which actually pissed them off. And you became over the top with pain and disappointment. And enraged. You felt enraged. Like, how dare you get mad at me for having a hard time letting go of this thing that you did? Yeah. And then you have the Hierophant reversed for you, and Aries, you just felt really misled. You just started to realize that being with this person was an overall bad decision for you. You knew it in your gut, and you went onto your own path to try to move past this. You were trying really hard to move past it. That's what I'm getting. You know, you went into this space of whatever happened here, you went into the space of trusting no one, not even yourself at this point, which that definitely speaks to the Orphan card. Okay? Yeah. And then look, we have the Hermit again on their side. Look at that. Upright from the vice versa, and then reverse from the right away. Look at that. Look at that. It's reversed. So they end up feeling unsupported and alone. And yeah, but you know what? That's a bunch of bullshit, because they ended up, that was their attitude. They were acting like they were very alone and unsupportive and in pain to people on the outside as a way of being just left alone. They were being stubborn and they were playing martyr with you, and they cut people off from themselves, people in their life, or or maybe they were unfriended by people they once considered friends. People found out about something that they did, and it did not fare well with the group. I mean, that's just what I'm getting here. Hi, but then, Aries, we have the Chariot reverse for you. So I'm getting, Aries, between the Hierophant reverse and the Chariot reverse, you went into a space of self-indulgence that has caused you, or can cause you, ultimately, only because they're major arcana, so these are very strong influences, to fall off your path into a space of ego, kind of like a spiraling out of control. And yeah, I mean, what I get from this energy is like, and then we have the King of Pentacles, so it's like a lot of, you were spending a lot of money, you were partying a lot, you were shopping a lot, you were trying to make yourself feel better by going out a lot, buying a lot of things, maybe going on trips, doing things that were ultimately going to come back and bite you in the ass. But you were just so desperate to try to escape this pain and feel better because of how much you love this person and how incredibly hurt and disappointed you became. And it was just, yeah. Yeah. But then, you know, then they have the World card here. So, you know, while you were in this space of trying to make yourself feel better, they went into a space of being ready to end the negative phase in their life, to have balance and just to be a more honest and truer version of themselves. This indicates them being blessed with positive events, Aries, I have to tell you. You know, things come into fruition for them. And the World is a very positive card. It's not reverse, it's upright. So something, they went through all of this, they did this thing, but regardless, this very positive thing happened for them. Maybe a job, maybe a big bonus, you know, something happened. Maybe they met someone new who made them feel good. Aries, I'm sorry, but this is what I'm getting. But then we have this Nine of Cups reversed. But, you know, as good as this came in for them, this indicates that you became filled with jealousy and unable to see past how their good fortune or whatever blessings that came upon them, if we want to call them that, would not serve you and your needs. And you're very pissed off about it, because I'm getting that you were an important component in bringing them to where they are. So, for example, let's say if it's a new relationship, right, that they're in, they learn their lessons on you. It's like you train them, and then the next person gets the benefits of the finished product, and that just sucks, right? I mean, it could be that, or maybe it was, you know, a job, and you were just so there for them, helping them in any way. I mean, some of you might have even helped them out financially in some way, but certainly a support system to help them on their path. And now that they arrive and you're not in their life, you're like, really? Like, really? Are you effing kidding me? But in their mind, they're going to let you throw your tantrum until you calm down. So, yeah, I'm going to pull a couple cards because this is a very direct reading, guys. Listen, the energies could be flip-flop. This could be you. This could be them. You have to understand the nature of tarot when in the general format. So most of you know that, but I like to say it anyway. So the energy could certainly be flip-flopped. Gender doesn't matter. And if this doesn't resonate with you, or you feel like you need even more information, guys, please check your rising, moon, and Venus. Especially Venus is the planet of love. Moon are your emotions. Your rising sign is how you see the everyday. You might even want to check your Mars sign, because that's how we handle conflict. All right. Let's get a little more information here, because right now I have you just being so emotional, just riddled with pain and not acting in your best interest. All right, so this tells me that Yeah, so you know, you just really, you're missing them, and they're missing you too. There's a missing that goes on here, but you still have this conflict, and somebody's addiction is an issue. Somebody's, and it doesn't have to be to pills or alcohol or anything like that. It could be, you know, someone's misuse of money. It could be somebody's consistent negative behavior. Anything that's in our low vibrational energy. Yeah, and I'm not getting who this is for. I'm not getting, it could be you, it could be them, but this is definitely an issue. Absolutely. And then we have this King of Pentacle energy where it's, you know, I just feel like your partner is in this space of abundance. And I'm just feeling, Aries, like you just are not handling this well at all. It's like you miss them. You don't want the conflict. You feel like the whole thing is unfair, that you're not going to have this reuniting. You're not going to have that fairy tale ending. Yeah. And that your partner just really wants to move forward now. That's what I'm getting here. For now, for right now. But let's pull that yes-no card. Aries, I'm sorry. I don't like this reading, but I have to read what's here. Don't blame the messenger. Okay, ask yourself 3 times. Just make sure you ask it the same way. Am I and your partner's name? Please make sure you say their names. Their name and you. Are you going to get back together, or are you going to stay broken up? 3 times. Aries, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you were looking for a yes, because the Judgment in reverse is a definitive no. It's a major arcana in reverse. So, yeah, I'm sorry. But, you know, try to look for the lessons here. And I know that sounds so rote and like such bullshit, and it doesn't help you feel any better when you're in pain. I know that. But if it means anything to you, I want you guys to try to focus on the fact that you have Jupiter going retrograde in your 4th house of journey and philosophy in April. So you're going to have so much help and so many blessings in restructuring how you see life and being able to reopen yourself again. Jupiter is going to be there for you. And I like to call Jupiter like your best friend who comes into your room when it's messy and says, okay, this is what we have to do to clean this up. You know, what is this? Do you need this anymore? You don't need this anymore. I'm telling you, you don't need this. Let's get rid of it. You know, and just kind of restructuring everything. And I feel like from this reading that this is going to be a welcomed thing for you. Welcome thing. Aries, you guys have big changes coming. And you know what? This just wasn't meant. So take the lessons, put those in your backpack, and just move on. Yeah. All right, Aries, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.